Today we're going to be making a Cedar Plank Salmon Salad with honey pineapple dressing. Something a little bit lighter today, but absolutely delicious. And if you can see over on the counter behind me, I have my Cedar Plank already soaking in water. It's been soaking for about an hour. I just have a little dish holding it down in the water. Now there are several components to this, but the first thing I want to get ready is our dressing. Now this is not a traditional sort of vinaigrette dressing or anything like that. It's going to be something that's going to go on the salad portion and on the salmon when it's done. And I'm going to make it in my NutriBullet blender. You can just throw it in a blender if you want, or do it by hand. First up, I've got about a cup of pineapple chunks with some juice. To this, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of Dijon Mustard, a couple tablespoons of honey. This is a pretty thin honey, so it'll work okay in the NutriBullet. If you're using a very, very thick honey, I always say mix that by hand because it can really wreak havoc on the motors in some of these blenders. Next up, I want to get some lemon zest in here. I'm just going to get maybe, I don't know, zest of half a lemon. We're also going to take half of that lemon and get the juice of that in here. Finally, about a teaspoon of soy sauce. My lid on. And we blend. That's what I want, a dressing that's halfway between thin and thick. Just nice. All right, let's get some more of our ingredients ready. So right here I have, 2 tablespoons of salted roasted almonds, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna crush these. Just gonna put them in a Ziploc bag, mostly seal it, leave a little bit for air to get out, and then with a rolling pin or something heavy, just crush them. They don't have to be pulverized, but I do want them in smaller bits. Just like that. Just sort of nice little bits that we're going to sprinkle on our salad. Next up, I have a blood orange here that I want to peel and get into slices. I'll take my handy dandy peeler here. I'm going to get my little ends off. Now, a lot of times if the orange is big enough, you can just stick your finger down the center here and it'll start to peel apart into natural slices. So let's see if we can get that going. Sometimes that does work, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Not too bad. So now I want to break this down into slices and kind of clean it up a little bit. So any of these sort of bits of the rib inside I want to take off. I just want sort of clean slices. You don't have to worry about this on the outside, but any big chunks that come off, go ahead and do that. I mean, if you want to get really fancy, you can remove everything, but I'm not that fancy. Now for our next piece of fruit, and this is an interesting one. Now, if you look at this, you might go, oh, it's a peach, or no, it's a nectarine. It's something called a peacherine, some hybrid cross of a peach and a nectarine, so I saw it and thought, what the heck, that's got to go in a salad. Now I'm just going to get some slices out of here, just like you might a peach or a nectarine. We'll see how good we do. I'm curious what a peacherine tastes like. Very peachy, but it has more of the consistency, that texture of a nectarine. Think those are good. Last thing I want to do before we cook up this salmon is blister some cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to do that over on the stove in my cast iron pan. All right, I have my Cedar Plank here, and I'm just going to be totally upfront and tell you I cheated. I bought some pre-seasoned salmon fillets, and there's no reason that you can't do this. If you see something you like, that's perfect to add to a dish like this, or you can just season the salmon yourself. This is supposedly a bourbon seasoned salmon. Gotta be some sort of bourbon glaze on it here. So I'm gonna go out, get this on the grill, get it cooked up. I'm not gonna do any talking out there because it's just a really simple process. You put this over the coals, you let it cook, Really, I like to finish my salmon somewhere between 120 and 125. Recommended is 145 and above, but to me that's overcooked. So you need to decide how well you like your salmon cooked. And then we're gonna get it back in here. It's gonna come off the skin and go onto our salad so we can build this. So I have a bed of greens here. This is spinach in my bowl. And what I want to do to this now is I want to put a little bit of red cabbage in here. This is just some chopped up red cabbage. Just kind of sprinkle it around. Next up, our piece of salmon. That second piece has been spoken for. It's going to my son. I'm going to get some of our blood orange in here. And some of our Peacherines. Probably should have alternated before I just started laying everything, but we'll make it work. Blistered tomatoes over here. Now for some of our honey pineapple dressing. We're just gonna drizzle bits of it here. Some on our fruit. A little bit on our salmon. Finally, some of our crushed almonds. There's something about that texture, that crushed nut texture when you're having a salad or something like this. I really like it. And there we have it. Our Cedar Plank Salmon Salad with our honey pineapple dressing. Looks good enough to eat, so I am going to. Let's see, I'm going right in for some of this salmon here. And as a reminder, I removed the skin, and that's really easy. Once it's done, you just basically slide a knife or a thin spatula under it, lift it off the skin. That just dissolves. And paired with greens and everything else here, salmon is a great protein to add to salads. Let's see. Salmon is my favorite seafood. And when you combine it with an attempt to do something lighter, like a salad, it just works. And it doesn't make you feel like you're giving up anything because it is just so darn tasty. And when you're making a salad like this, don't be afraid to add things you like. Like I said, I saw these Peacherines and thought, that'll be good. And they are tasty. So this is really about customizing a lighter dish to your liking. The salmon, even though it's pre-seasoned, takes some of the work out of it for you. I have no problem with that because the end result is fantastic.